Today we have Stephanie Hay here from Rocketspark, and Steph is going to be talking about building a website for a community online. So an online community, a lot of us like to be a part of community groups, or we run organizations that involve a community base. And so we're going to be connecting a couple of sessions this week. This is really cool. So Rocketspark is connected with Community Box. Community Box is a super cool tool that you can use on your website. So Community Box is coming on tomorrow, I believe. And we're going to talk about some other aspects of how that works on your website with Rocketspark today. So a full action-packed lineup to kick off this short week. Hey, Steph.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, indeed. So what I want to remind you of is we do have some newcomers that have been joining us on our social media channels. You can ask Steph questions by using the comment section or the Q&A function or the chat function. I do check those throughout the whole session. So do check in with us and let us know how you're going, or if you have any queries that are particular to your business, let us know. So thanks, Steph, joining us after. Are we awake yet? I'm not sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I know I'm struggling. I'm like, oh, it's Tuesday already. When did that happen?
Yeah.
So yeah. But you always have lots of insight for us. So I'm going to let you kind of drive now, and I will make sure everything's running in the back.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Hey, yeah, so my name is Stephanie and I'm from Rocketspark. Some of you guys may have tuned in for a couple of these other ones before in the past. So hello to you guys again, and hello to those of you that have not been a part of these sessions before. So Rocketspark, we are a website building platform. So you can just jump on and go and build your website whenever you need. And we've got plenty of support there as well. So if any of you guys don't have a website just yet and we're thinking about it, you've got a community group that you're wanting to set up as well, feel free to get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to walk you through those steps. But yeah, today we're going to be going through setting up a community. So what I'll do is I'll just go and share. I've got a couple of slides here. Cool. So today we're going to be looking at building a community. So it's really important to go through this because if you do have a community in mind, you might want to have one place where everyone can easily access this information. So yeah, it's really good to be able to have somewhere where people can access information, get in contact with you easily as well, and also find out how to be a part of this community as well, be extra engaged. I know that there's a lot of great areas out there, so you've got the likes of social media already, but you may want to take this one step up and start looking at having a website. Cool. So yeah, one thing with building community, you do want to go and link it in with the social media if you've already got it, along with having your website as well. You can have different Facebook private groups. You can have different ambassadors as well. I think ambassadors are a really cool one to have a look at, just because, yeah, these are people that are always going to be in your corner supporting you. So if you can get a lot more of them that are willing to go and go and spread the word and go and let other people know more about the community, that's always a great thing to have. And also having regular email marketing as well is a huge part of it, depending on what kind of community you have there. And yeah, just going and boosting more engagement with your customers is really cool to see. But yeah, the thing with email marketing is not making it too salesy. I know that for me as well, I can sometimes get emails come through on the daily, and you see the same ones coming through. And I always think about it from the different brands' point of view, is they're sending out these emails every day, and it's got to be hard for them as well to come up with new content. So what you want to be doing is coming up with content that is going to be useful for your customers, and is going to build this community into something that you're really wanting. You can also have giveaways as well, depending on what kind of community you have. It may be giveaways for the likes of just building the community a little bit more. So you may want to go and say like, share, and build it that way. And also having content that you're sending out to people that is really relatable. In this case, this is one of our little examples that we have here, where a lot of the content that they go and put out, or content that they put on their website as well, it's really relatable to their kind of audience that they're wanting. In this case, it's wooden kids' toys. So they've got pictures of adorable little kids on it, which are yeah, good marketing materials in some way, but also, yeah, just really building that community vibe, where it's someone that is approachable, they're real people, and they are toys that people are wanting to use. One thing that you can do as well is if you are an e-commerce community, so you're selling things at the same time, you can go and have customer accounts, which is really cool. So this way you can go and see how often someone has purchased a product, how many orders they've had, when their last order was. Perhaps you've got a membership to be a part of this community as well. So you may need to go and pay for a recurring subscription. You could use this in the same kind of way, where you can see that this person has been, yeah, they've spent this much and they've had this many orders. So in this case, if this was a customer that had a reoccurring subscription for their membership for each year, and for example, they've ordered it 6 times, so they've had 6 years worth of subscription there. You can go and track it in that way, or just see when their last order is, so that you could go and see, oh, they're coming up to their next renewal, but that will all happen automatically. Yeah, so this is more towards the e-commerce side as well, just looking at what you can use your website for. So you can have a subscription e-commerce market, which it is always growing. So this was quite a bit of an older one as well. But yeah, it definitely continues to grow as well. People like to have that subscription-based e-commerce, just because, yeah, it continues to grow. It automates it all so that they don't need to worry about that admin side of things. So this was the example here that we're using before. Oh, this is a slightly different one actually, but this is Six Toed Fox Organics. So they've got a really cool community that they've grown. So this is not only e-commerce, but it is also growing a community around growing plants, which is really cool to see. And they go and spread a lot of their knowledge as well, which is really cool. But yeah, in here, they've got their main website. And the first thing that you see, especially when they sell out, is that, sorry, due to high demand, we're not able to offer any set boxes, and no customized orders either. And what this does is it keeps your customers in the loop and a part of the community to go and say that there is a high demand. They can keep up to date with everything that's going on. I think one of the cool things about having a community as well is going and showing a little bit more about your team. So you'll see here where you've got your team, they'll be able to click through and see more about the people that are running it. And if you're a part of the community as well, it's going to be people that you are used to, faces that you might often see if you're part of the community. It might be the people that are having the main broadcasts through social media or through any of the email marketing that you're seeing as well. So being able to create a team vibe about it, where you can go and see more about them, learn a little bit more about them as well, to make it feel a lot more personable, and get to know the community that you're a part of, to make sure that it is one that you're wanting to be a part of. So this is another one that we've got here, which is circular eggs. So this is a really cool one based over in the Bay of Plenty, and they do have an egg subscription, which is really cool to see. And they've created a really cool community here where it's only local deliveries that's happening. The same person that farms the eggs is also the person dropping it off. They've got a full system as well, where they can do waste pickups as well. So if you've got any food waste that you want to get picked up, that'll be brought back to the farm, creating a really cool community. and getting to know a bit more about your community as well. They have got this area here where you can go and click through to community. What I might do is go and bring up that page as well, because it's quite an interesting one. But yeah, it's really cool to see those communities being built. Cool, so I'll just bring that one up again. Cool, so they've changed it a little bit since last time we made that slide, but you can still see a bit more about our story and our community as well. So this is really cool to be able to see, where people can come in and read a little bit more, get to know about some of the projects that they're a part of and who they like to support as well. So take a little look through here. Yeah, they've got a lot of people that are a part of their community now, where they like to go and look after these customers and really take them to the next level. So creating a community of a lot of different customers and a lot of different organizations is really cool to see. And being able to link those communities together, so you can see that everyone's helping everyone and coming full circle as well. And going and looping it back to their own website as well, where they've got help support our local community. So by going and purchasing through their website and purchasing as a part of the subscription, you're helping the local community. So they go and put money back into these different organizations, and they try to help out where they can as well. Cool. Cool. So yeah, with the same with a different customer actually, we've got Miriam's Munchies, and she's got the family essential box as well, so that you can go and create a community in this way, where they do come from a couple of different suppliers and come together to go and be able to buy everything from one area. So you can still purchase it one-off, or you can buy it on a subscription. And this was just a cool exercise that we've had a couple people go through. So if you've already got a e-commerce kind of community going on, what you could do is, first of all, make sure that you've got your email marketing set up. In this case, what we've got is we've got an example here of an abandoned cart. So if someone does go through the checkout and they abandon their cart at the end just before they go and check out, you can go and set it up so it will automatically send out an email to them. So what you could do is send them through a nice little email marketing snippet like this one, telling them to come back. There's goodies up for grabs, and trying to build the community in that way. So to bring them back in and get them to be a part of it, because once you've got that customer, it's really easy to get more engaged with them and show them what you're about. So what we want to do as well is to have a little review of how you can go and build your community. So if you haven't already started with this one, have a look at what kind of means you've already got going. Do you have the likes of social media, or the different Facebook, Instagram? Do you have a loyal following? You could look at different aspects of it as well, such as looking at social media, sending out like, share and tag to be in to win something. I know that I've seen a lot of these ones coming through lately, where different brands and different hospitality venues, especially at this time, what they're doing is they're going and sending out a like, tag and share, and do a big prize giveaway, but it's actually for themselves and for another hospitality venue. So that's really cool, seeing that kind of community come together. so that you can go and say, hey, there's some awesome prizes to be won. Go and support our other local hospitality brands or different brands that are around that they want to support. So that's a really cool way to go and raise your awareness and also get some more people following those accounts and getting to see what's going on. Getting a little bit more brand engagement as well is really cool to see. And that you can link this back into your website as well. So you can go and send people to a certain page that they can go and click on a link. They'll be sent to a page where they can fill out some information, and then they'll be in to win. So that's a really cool way to do that, to get people to start coming through your website, to seeing a little bit more about it. Because what we see with websites is that once someone's on, if they're hooked on the information that they're seeing, they're more likely to start looking around the website a little bit more. So that's really good for engagement and seeing click-through rates as well. Which, as you start to build your website, we see a lot of customers that do they do start to see a lot more click-through rates, and it's really easy to go and track using the likes of Google Analytics, and it can be quite engaging to go and have a look through your own kind of stats, see what things change. If you go and put a social media post out there that takes people through to your website, you can see exactly how they engage with your website and what they need to do. And we'll also want to go and look at brainstorming, so other ways that we can go and build your community. So it can be a very vast kind of range of what you're needing here, depending on what your community is. And one of the tools that we've recently been using, which you will be hearing about tomorrow as well, is Community Box. So this is a really cool kind of tool as well to be using, and we're really excited to be working with them. So what you can do is you can go and create directories as well. So this is really cool if you've got a community that you're building, that you need to go and see a lot more people, or you want to go and have different information about each person. You can go and just add this onto your website so that the information is really easily visible. Stop that one for a moment and bring up. So Community Box is a really cool one to be able to use, just because it fits. You can just pop it onto your website and have everyone's information there. And I know that there is a lot of different tools as well to use out there. A lot of people use these for the likes of freelancing as well. So I know that there is the Freelance Village. Which is this one here. And so this is going and creating a community of different freelancers as well. So this is one of the tools that we use quite often when people are building websites. So again, if you haven't built a website yet, or you're wanting to go and refresh your website, but you don't have, for example, a photographer that you're used to getting in touch with, or you're wanting to get some copywriting done, what you can do is you can come in here and have a look at this community of different freelancers. So here you can come and have a look through all of them as well, depending on where you're located, the type of service that you're after as well. So this is really cool at seeing the different communities that do come together. And it does create a community as well, to become a freelancer so that everyone can be found in one place. I know that they've got a really cool social media as well. So they keep people really engaged, and getting a lot of click-throughs as well to the website to be able to find these freelancers. But this is a pretty cool one to see, and especially looking at the different community that does come through here. You get all sorts of people, from different builders to bakers, just depending on what they're needing, because it can often be quite hard to go and find one place to find everything. So being able to create a community there would be really cool. And for the likes of Rocketspark as well, I know that we've got an awesome community. What we've done is we've built a community around not only our customers that are building the website themselves, but also building a community around becoming a partner, because we've got a lot of partners that are a part of our platform. We've got different social medias that we use as well. So the likes of Facebook and Instagram again, where we've created private groups, where as soon as you become a partner with us, you get to become a part of that private group. And you can go and post any kind of questions or tips and tricks that you have as well. So I love being able to go into that partner group where if they've got any kind of questions, they can go in there and ask them to their fellow designers. Or if it's something a bit more technical, they'll come to us. But I know that for a lot of them, it is about going into bouncing off those design ideas off one another so that they can go and continue to grow. So being able to ask other creatives is really cool to see. Yeah, there's a lot of different creative groups out there which have created a lot of different communities. And for people like freelancers or designers, or just sole traders as well, where you're working by yourself, I think it's really important to be a part of a community because it can get quite lonely. So it's always nice to know that there are communities out there that you can be a part of. A couple of the different ones that I'm a part of are the likes of Women in Business, Waikato. I know that there's a lot of different ones like that around. And seeing those different kind of community groups where you can go and engage, you can go and network as well is a really cool thing to see. So using different tools with your website to go and create this community is quite cool to see. But yeah, it's just a tool to use on top of being able to use social media, being able to go and interact with people a lot more as well. I know that with moving over to like moving into the world of COVID, it did go and stunt some of the growth of some communities because it could be harder to go and meet in person with people. So being able to use websites and yeah, creating a community this way and getting in touch with your customers is a really good way of growing a community when you can't meet in person. But yeah, I know that there's a lot of different communities out there, and there's a lot of tools to use as well. So over this week, being able to have a look at using Rocketspark to go and build a website for your community, and using the likes of Community Box as well. There's just so many tools out there that you'll get to go through this week. But yeah, this was just a little taster for this one. I don't have too much more. But yeah, I hope that it was helpful. And yeah, it was definitely a bit of a shorter session as well today, after coming back from a long weekend. But yeah, if there's any questions out there that you have about going and building a website for your community, we'd be happy to help with that one. So if you were just to pop a question below or just get in touch with us as well, we'd be more than happy to help with any of those questions there.
Yeah, thanks, Steph. That was wonderful. I'm looking forward to like the follow up on this session as well, because I think it's really great that you guys have integrated together. There's a lot of cross-pollination that occurs with Rocketspark and other providers and freelancers and all of that jazz, keeping it real local, but also just finding cool tools that you can put together in order to be really efficient and effective with the way that you use your website. And Community Box is one of those tools. So there's lots of different uses that you can use that tool for. So we'll dive deep into that. I just want to double check. It's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's tomorrow.
We back-to-backed them just so that we could easy access for everybody. Yes, tomorrow, 10 a.m. with Roland. He will be here. So looking forward to that. And, you know, I also want to thank you so much for coming on and just getting into some of this nitty gritty. Here we go. A little question from Nadia. What are the tools that Rocketspark offers to build a community, please? Is there a membership area, forum type area? Good question. Thanks, Nadia.
Yeah, so With that one, there is quite a few different tools. So with the membership area, what you could do is have your memberships that you can go and purchase if it's going to be a paid one. Or what you could do is you could go and have a second site using what's called a subdomain. So for example, our main domain name is Rocketspark, but we might have a members only portal that would be members.rocketspark.com. And that would be a separate area completely where you can have information just for your members. So that's where you can go and broadcast any kind of updates. You might have an AGM and want to put your meeting minutes on there so they're easily accessible for the whole the whole team there that are part of that main group. And for the likes of the forum as well, what we could do here is to use a blog. So you've got the blogging function as a part of Rocketspark, where you can go and create these blogs. So you may want to have a piece there that you want a couple questions from, and you can go and put a forum underneath it using Discus. So that's what you can use, and people can go and comment, and interact in that way. But if you're wanting something where people can go and post their own things for people to go and interact with, we don't have a tool like that, but that's when we'd probably recommend using the likes of Facebook or Instagram. Having like a live Q&A is always really cool. So yeah, there's a couple of different options there. But yeah, I think with having a forum area, the best option would be to go and have the likes of social media where you've got a private group there for them to be able to ask away in.
Yeah, and there's just that's great. Thank you so much. You're so welcome, Natty. Look, I'm loving the idea of all these community groups getting built and having an online presence so that everybody has easy access, especially when, things like we've seen over the past couple of years happen, and you still want to have access to your community. You still want to know what's happening. There's lots of new ways that have been developed over the past 2 years in order to make that engagement still happen. Maybe it's not as face to face, and we do love that, but at least we have some alternatives. And we are going to be having on, just as another little add-on to this whole idea of community, because I just feel like it's so important, and I feel like Aotearoa does it so well. And so we're going to be actually having on a gentleman who's Kiwi. He developed an app himself. It's called Amplifier. And what it is, it's like a Zoom, but it's not. So you can come in and you can put your business name in there or your title or what have you, and you can actually see everybody else who's joined the group, and you can put them in a lineup of who you'd like to talk to. So you're able to network with those people while you're in a live event online. So it's kind of cool. So they'll be like, okay, we're going to go in and break up. And if you match with the person that you wanted to talk with, both of you match together, you instantly get matched for 5 minutes, and you get pushed out into a separate room where you can chat with them. So it's like all of these really cool tools like Rocketspark are providing, Community Sparks are providing, Amplifier providing, very different systems, but they're all coming together to just help us to get back to this community-centered approach and be able to stay connected. So thank you so much, Steph. Let me just jump, because we do have a lot of people actually on the Facebook and stuff. So I just want to make sure on Facebook. I've given it an article, a definite article there. Okay, no, we're good. But we did get a comment earlier that just said, hi, great presentation. So loving that feedback. So thank you so much for putting that through. We're so glad you're getting good value. And of course, Steph will be with us. I'm sure we have more sessions booked, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah,
so,
we've got a couple.
Yeah, we've got a couple here and there. So if you have something that you think that Rocketspark could really talk on, and that's something that you're really interested in getting more knowledge about, I'll have a chat with Steph and we'll put that together for you, because that's what we did here. We had something else I think planned, and then we just went, nah, we're going to do this now because we know that this is really important to our Digital Boost users. So let us know I know sometimes it's hard when you don't know, how do you know, but if there is something that comes up where you're like, I really want to be able to do this, can we chat about that? Let us know and we'll try to put something together, Steph?
Yeah, I know that there was one a little while ago where people were wanting to know a little bit more about landing pages.
Yeah.
So that's one that I'm excited to do, that I think would be quite beneficial to a couple people. So keep your eyes peeled for that one.
Keep them
Um,
peeled.
but yeah, just as we're going through a couple of those questions, it just made me think of so many of the great examples that we have. And yeah, there's so many different examples that we have on our website showcase page. Um,
Did you want to show them right now?
yeah.
Go ahead. We've got a bit of time, so feel free to share,
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was one of the, so this is our website showcase page, where, yeah, it just has a whole lot of our websites that have been built really well from a couple of our designers. But this was one of the ones that I was having a look at recently, which is Women in Forestry. And so having this kind of community here from a whole lot of different women in forestry, and how to go and stay in the loop and how to become a part of that community, because it is a community where it may be harder to stay in contact with. So here what they've done is at the top of the page, you can straight away see a really cool call to action. So finding out a little bit more about how you can go and support female forestry business owners. And yeah, straight underneath it jumps into the different events that they have, so that people can go and stay in the loop in that kind of way. Why they should be a part of the community. Really good points to have, especially on that homepage. And yeah, just being able to see a little bit more about it. This is one of the blog areas as well. So this is how you would use the blog area is, in this case, they've had different regional updates from different people. So you can go and see where they're based, and go and click through to the blog about them as well.
Cool.
Yeah, but yeah, really cool website to go and see. And you can also become a member as well. So yeah, there's a couple different programs, and also just lets you know a little bit more about why you should go and join, what's included in the membership as well, and why you should be a part of that community.
There's lots of groups out there that have websites, and I would encourage you, if you have a group and you don't have a website, get an online presence, because it is important these days to have that. And, you can make it simple enough that it doesn't have to be an arduous task to constantly update and do things like that. Often there's people in your group who would love to do that kind of thing. And that's something that you can kind of share throughout the group. Even some of the smallest businesses that I know that are just real not-for-profits have little websites, and it might just be a place where they have their address and who they are. And it doesn't have to be anything major, but it does allow the community, at large, people who move into your neighborhood or that, move into that field, to be able to go online and know that you're there. And then that way connect up with like-minded people is always a lovely thing. So yeah. Oh, wonderful, Steph. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for just jumping on there, and I just put you right on the spot, and so I appreciate that. Yeah, and I reckon we're, just a well done. Kia ora, Stephanie and Anamari. If you have a simple concept of web building in mind, what is the average time needed from concept to live delivery setup?
Oh, yeah, that's a bit of a loaded question. So with having a website, from that, it really does mostly depend on if you've got all of your content there. Have you got all of your copywriting? Have you got all of your images already set up? If you've got everything that you need, it can take as little as, say, an hour. I know that we've done a couple of these webinars where we've gone and put together a whole website within an hour, just over, a webinar like this. But yeah, that's because we had a lot of we had all of our content pre-done. We had, for our e-commerce side of it, we had a CSV like spreadsheet that we could just go and upload as well. So it made things way quicker. But yeah, the average kind of time that you'd be looking at, I think, especially if you're not used to building a website, could just take a couple of weeks. I've seen do it for me, or so people that are coming through building the websites for themselves that haven't done that before. They've built a website in a day. So yeah, it can really change. But if you're having it designed, and say you don't have your logos or anything at that stage, you could be looking at a bit longer. So a couple weeks maybe, if you're wanting a really nicely polished website. Yeah.
Maybe that's something we need to get into, is what is all the prep to get your website online? Like, not how to build it, but what do we need to have put together in order to just get on and get it done? Because I'm sure there's probably like 8 to 10 things, categories of things that we need, depending on the business. I'm sure obviously it would be different, but I reckon there would be some commonalities across all websites that you need to have in order to be able to just put it up online. And I think that might be it. Maybe that's something that we look into, Stephanie.
I think so as well. I think
that's
that's a really awesome question. I think it would be great to have a checklist of things that you need, because I know I've definitely run into it with different websites before that I've built, and I've gone through it. I'm like, oh man, I knew I forgot something, and that takes me back to step one. It can be painful sometimes, so it's always nice having a checklist in front of you.
Yeah, definitely. And just a little comment here for you. I was just replying, sorry. Kia ora, thank you for today. Great start for me. I'm a newbie to this platform. We'll definitely back. Great. We're so glad to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. And then just a yes, please. All the assets will be great. We'll love to know for us newbies. Yes, we will. I think that's a step forward. We've got our new content now.
Yeah.
We're ready. Okay.
Good to go.
We'll have a look at that. So all the sessions, if you're on social media and you watch via that way, you can't look at kind of the upcoming sessions unless you go online. Usually there should be, and it'll go up today. Apologies for the long weekend. There was a delay. At the top of our social media channels, there's always a post that tells you the weekly events. So that will be up there. If not right now, it will be up there within an hour. But if you would like to see the upcoming events going further forward, then you've got to register to digitalboost.business.govt.nz in order to have a look at those events. And you can also go back and have a look at some of the events that we've done previously. So there's a lot of good content on there in the Q&As. Bit longer forms. It's really nice to have somebody walk you through step by step, which is what we've done. Hey, Steph, and with other tools, like some of our finance tools and things like that, like Xero's come on and walk you through how to do reconciliation and invoicing. And maybe you want a step-by-step guide like that. So have a look online. But I think this has been a wonderful session. I think we've got good value out of it, and I think we've got some steps forward. So this has been a really great event. Thank you, Steph, once again for joining us, and please say hello to the whole Rocketspark team for us. They are a Digital Boost Alliance member. They care through and through, and we're always appreciative of your involvement here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
My pleasure. Ka kite, everyone. See you tomorrow for Community Box.